with my buddy Dash for this episode of Double Take. Dave, I just said joined by Dash, but we're joined by Dash
Talking
and
in
Dave.
the third person. That's
The way
weird.
The way you feel.
Is this the Albanian dance?
No, it's a trumpet melody. It's a victory melody.
Dash is obviously in a good mood. I guess we're just gonna wait for Dash to finish dancing here.
All right, I'm good. Hey, everyone.
Oh,
Welcome
man.
back. This is a happy victory Friday, Thursday. Shit, I missed my days. Damn it.
It is a
Anyways,
Thursday.
It is a Thursday.
It's like good old times, isn't it?
I know. It's like the season, man. We got the trumpets going. We got everything going. It's a lot of good vibes, a lot of good things. Improvement, some fun stuff, some thingamadoodles we'll call out. But it merited a post game because yesterday was a game. Actually, a pretty intense game. There was
a lot of intensity.
some terrorist ball, as some folks would call it, but I think terrorist ball
that.
executed properly.
Yes,
So-
that happened.
Yeah, I mean, look, folks, you're saying in the chat, Dash looks like he won the Champions League final. Real Madrid played like that was a Champions League final.
They kind of did in a lot of
So-
ways. They did. And you know what? I'm actually quite surprised, especially in a state like Florida, that they let terrorism just be on display like that.
Terrible. You want to know why? Because, and I actually have some images of some lineups and some plays, but I'm kind of curious to see how the Allegri outstands are doing right now. I bet you they're rolling around and raging. But
Oh, for sure.
gosh, man, it's like I said yesterday during my halftime pep talk. That was probably the first time I've seen like a really like 45 minutes of just pure Juventus dominance.
You think it was pure dominance from Juve? Because
I do.
Madrid, Juve played their game. I'll give you that, but their game is never about dominating.
Well,
in
so the
outward
thing is
sense.
like I don't mean like they've completely bent over Real Madrid and they're just going. No, that's not what I meant. But like I mean more so just kind of controlling the tempo and controlling the game. Like for example, it took a couple of missed passes between McKennie Weah and a misread by I think it was Danilo or Bremer that gave Vinny's goal. Overall, it was good defensive play by Juve. I mean, in my opinion, at the end of 45, that easily, if Kostic knew how to flip and pass the ball, easily would have been 3-4-0 going into the half. I mean, it was something that I've never seen. Like, again, it was a high block, high press, man-to-man coverage by Juventus. It reminds me of, again, like 15, 16, 17 Allegri Juventus. I mean,
Is the mojo back?
I don't know. I don't want to sit
Me
here and
too.
say we're back, Scudetto. Yeah. unless we get Lukaku, then allegedly the Scudetto is on the table. But
For sure. 100%.
the thing is again for me, Real Madrid took that game hella seriously. I mean, they subbed after we did. They were still chasing that game, and we still gave them a nice L. So I'm kind of awestruck because for the last couple of seasons, our preseasons have been shitty.
Yeah, just complete throwaway trash games. Pogba getting injured.
Yeah, like even last season, if you compare last season to this season, like we got spanked. I think it was 2-0 by Real Madrid. Got spanked 4-0 by Atletico, and then like a 2-2 draw against Barcelona. And like with all due respect to Barcelona, but like they kind of ain't shit in a sense. So it's like, but you go in there, you force Real Madrid to play hard against you. You go in there, you run riot on them, have a bleep in defense, but you're able. The thing is like, I think the thing that I forgot to mention yesterday is they didn't fold after the Vinny goal.
Yes.
Or
just give up after the first one.
Yeah. Or like, again, well, hell, dude, pushed in the first 90 seconds and got a goal. And like the passing situation that was, it was Chiesa to Moretti to Keane to McKennie, and then McKennie hitting it off the post, and then Keane tapping it in. I was like,
McKennie should have probably scored that one.
He could have. I mean, it was his left foot. It's not a left footer, so arguably, yeah. But again, kudos to Keane. Right place, right time.
Yep. There's a lot to dissect with that, right? So McKennie got man of the match. Vlahovic is
Chipotle man of the match, by the way. I died laughing. It was actually like Chipotle man.
I obviously don't get that advertising, but yes, that is quite hilarious.
Awesome.
Do you think that was predetermined to some effect because it's Chipotle? It has to be, because I think it's controversial that he did get man of the match. Not to say he didn't have a good game.
He had a beastly 25 minutes and then like a meh 20 after.
Yeah. And personally, I'm putting Tekken as man of the match because he made some monster saves. Now, yes, you can say he did let the Vinny goal in. He was left out to dry by McKennie. He was the last one to touch it. Yeah, bad pass. Lots of pressure down on Weah. But regardless, Weah and McKennie gave that ball up. Left Tech out to dry. The defense can get back in time. Vinny is just way too quick, dribbles the ball so well. Honestly, he could have had like 10 goals last night. He was launching. He was, and that was my man of the match personally. It was Vinny, just the amount of chances he created.
Yeah,
but he's a bitch.
Yeah, and you can throw it again because like everyone's sitting there. Oh, it's preseason. Real Madrid wasn't trying. Bullshit, as the little kid would say. Bullshit.
So Jeff thinks missing Benzema is going to kill him. Maybe there's some locker room aspect there because
I think that, but also there was a couple of opportunities that, like, I think if Benzema was there, he would have finished.
Oh yeah, Joselu looked
terrible.
Joselu
looked like Jossa Blue.
It wasn't good showing by him by any means.
No, it wasn't. It was not good at all.
And again, whether it was a wide or the defense put some pressure on, or Tech made the save, what have you. Joselu, I think that's the question. What's he doing on Madrid? I know why. It was explained to me, obviously, that with Benzema gone, they were looking for something. Joselu had a decent season at Espanyol.
I mean, we should have just offered him Dusan there and be like, hey, you want Dusan? 80 million? Give you Dusan. Take Dusan.
Yeah, it's just... Hopefully that's just an off game for Madrid's sake because he did not look like the guy you want on a Madrid team by any means.
No. And then speaking of Jeff, if you guys go on our Discord, Jeff actually uploaded his videos and pictures. He was actually at the game, so hop in there. He was Kevin for the day.
Yeah.
The only thing is we couldn't get him in the live stream, unfortunately, but. Yeah, go on our Discord, take a look at the images. My good friend Jeff is a good photographer. Very good pictures. I like the one.
The pictures were nice.
Yeah, and go on the Discord because you put it on there. I don't want to steal his thunder and show him on here. So
that's what that
the
barcode
that way.
It's always hard. It's opposite. It's always opposite.
Camera's flipping mirrored. That's why.
Or there's a link down in the description below as well. Marianne saying, I was honestly impressed that we scored 3 goals. That's just not normal for a Allegro ball. No,
Marianne, I was more shocked that there could have been 5 in the first 45 minutes, barring some passes.
And like she picks Tech as well for man of the match.
Yeah, that's the thing. So like, I actually got some images that we can go over. I borrowed them from Don Lippy on Twitter, so you can read his thread and stuff like that, but they're good props. So again, I borrowed these from Don Lippy. They were on his Twitter. You can take a look at them, but I'll share my screen so we can take a peek.
And David's saying Pinsolio because his Arda didn't let Real score again, and I definitely agree. Pinsolio... We know he's not the greatest keeper out there, but man, he really commands the pitch. I love it.
Yeah. So kind of going off of why this was a little bit of a different Juve or a different play style. So again, credits to Don Lippy here. Juve were playing man-to-man in the Real Madrid zone. So like, for example, you have bodies occupying all of these players looking to force an error. Yes, this was minute 5 after we scored. But again, this is a very, very intense. Like, so the only time a coach runs this is if he's confident in his guys being able to cover. And again, Allegri trusted these guys. You have Weah, you have Keane, you have McKennie, you have Chiesa, you have Locatelli, and then you have Moretti up there for garbage. Every player was man marking. That to me was something absolutely outrageous. And then if we look, so if we look again, Exhibit 2, if anyone says that we sit down and play back, again, if you give Allegri his proper players or if he's able to implement his style, this is the Real Madrid back line. This is not their front line. You have 6 players occupying the Real Madrid back line where you have Locatelli as the pivot. This formation works more so because of, if you look at it here, look at all the space you have for Locatelli. So the only issue that I would have, or the only criticism that I really would have more so for Juve, is our center backs aren't really the best ball playing center backs. Unfortunately, they just lack the skill for that. It is what it is. But the reason why you're able to have dangerous counters or able to force wins or obstruct Real Madrid's tempo is you have 6 players in between this line right here. That is outrageous if you looked at it last season, because it wouldn't be possible. With an actual proper preseason, with the players understanding what formation, because going into the offseason, I think we kind of had the idea that it was going to be a 3-5-2, and Allegri kind of stipulated that it's a 3-5-2. So they were able to train this entire offseason in a 3-5-2. So again, you look at it, you have Kostic over here occupying the wide space, you have Weah occupying the wide space, and then you have Keane and Chiesa playing off of each other here. And then you have McKennie and Moretti playing off of each other here. Again, I'm not saying Moretti's an I'm not saying McKennie's an amazing player, but again, McKennie warrants a defender on him. Because, guys, if he was able to head that ball over, I believe it was Militao, just a little bit over his head, that's a tap in for Chiesa. Juventus go up 3-0 at that point. So he's an offensive threat. Moretti able to pass and, again, display his physical prowess. I don't know what kind of steroids Moretti has been taking, but he needs to keep taking them. Maybe it's his Flintstone vitamins, but for me, Moretti looked quite strong in a lot of these challenges. He's
I
able to
used
get
to
the
love
pass
those
off.
things, those Flintstone
know.
vitamins. Oh,
The
man.
gummies.
Oh, no, gummies came way after.
So
I just had those chalky things, but I loved them anyways.
I remember that's all you could get back then was a chalky. You were lucky. You
And
get
the pill
dinosaur.
bottles, you had to dig through the cotton balls.
Yep.
The 90s.
So this is, again, commentary brought to you by Don Lippy. So one of the things is he was talking about transition here. So transition. So with Danilo giving permission. So this is kind of how Real Madrid kind of catches us out of position. So kind of illustrating what he says here. So he says biggest concern in transition, Danilo giving permission to move high as a wide center back, meaning Bremer and Sandro shift central, which leads Chiesa to maintain the width of the pitch instead of utilizing Kostic. So his main thing is if you look at this area here, you guys can see my mouse move. So that area here and then that area here as well, you have big gaps of space. That is one of the drawbacks to doing what you're doing. Because again, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 players in an advanced attacking role versus Real, who they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the thing is again, you have Chiesa and Kostic able to bomb down this left. Keane is literally pulling their main center back further deep than they should, which then again, Keane doing an amazing job, in my opinion, of playing as that holding striker, because him pulling the center back here, if the ball, which is right here to Danilo is able to throw this ball into space because you have one center back with 2 offensive players going towards that ball. So that opens you up because, again, Keane is giving you a lot less margin of error for being caught up offside. So that helps there. And then the only thing is again, here the issue is this is Sandro that's over here in Bremer. Unfortunately, they're not really able to do it that much on this direction. Danilo is really the only ball playing center back that we have. Hopefully, Gatti is able to take one of these and shift Danilo here and play here because Gatti's there, but I think Allegri wanted to experiment with the Brazilian back 3. But I digress. This is, again, overload Real Madrid's fullbacks with your wide players, and then you just hit them hard, and then you press them for a counterattack.
I got to say, though, since you mentioned fullback, just as a throw in there, Garcia, the left back from Madrid. My God, like he may not have done anything great defensively, but offensively, man, that guy was on fire. That would be the kid I would put on my FIFA team, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then this next image here, credits to him again, says in the build-up, Allegri's preference was to use Chiesa on the inside left of a box with Moretti as a 6 alongside Locatelli. So you can see that lineup here. Because I'm going to be honest with you guys, Moretti is a better passer than Locatelli. There's a couple of times where, like, for example, Loca has the opportunity to switch the ball to Weah. Instead of playing Weah in stride, he plays behind him, and it kind of stifles Weah's counterattack. But again, with Moretti, so here, Moretti's able to do a quick through ball to Chiesa. Chiesa's able to ping either off McKennie or ping off Keane. Again, causes problems for Madrid here. So the only issue was, honestly, offensively. I'm going to be honest with you guys, really the main issue of this game, or this half, was Kostic.
He didn't have the greatest game.
No, his passes were off, and again, not really much of a 1v1 threat. Really, it's Timmy. That's kind of the 1v1, the wild card per se on this one. Because if you look at the second goal again, so it's more so Chiesa going out wide, lays it off into the middle of the pitch to McKennie, or McKennie goes into the center of the box, lays it through. Weah comes in, cleans up, and again, there's that experience of Weah being a striker, being able to finish that cool and collectedly on the one touch. So Weah and McKennie, I'll bite it that they had that terrible mistake that led to the Vinny goal. But again, that pace, usually most players aren't that fast. That's one of those Vinny pace. Like, again, I said yesterday, pace of 105. But overall, we can trash McKennie all he wants. But as a super sub, or as a rotational piece,
It's not bad.
he's not bad.
I do have to call you out though. You said
for it.
I'll bite it instead of albeit.
Albeit, I like to
Yeah,
bite.
he's a biter. Dash is a biter. Oh man.
So
No, that's an excellent breakdown though. Having displayed visually like that really puts things into perspective.
yeah, and then again here, you have 4 up. So in this situation here, McKennie pushes out wide here. Keane pushes the keeper. Chiesa's pushing out, I believe that's Rudiger. Moretti holds one of the midfielders. And then it forces him, because it forces Courtois. You have to go up and above to get him, which then Timmy comes in and closes this area over here because you're forcing it. And then, there you go. You got it for me. So passes, the passing lanes, the offensive lanes, the pressing lanes. It's a team press now. It makes a lot more sense. It's honestly, this is peak Allegri ball.
Okay, could we focus on Keane a little bit?
Yeah.
His movement.
It was incredible.
The fact that he drew so much attention that our counterattacks essentially just left a whole flank open for Weah or McKennie, whoever, just to kind of pour in there and take just an open shot at net. A lot of the credit there goes to Keane, because the defense, and I don't know if we should just more so congratulate Juve or if we should trash Madrid. Maybe it's a bit of both. But, and even Chiesa, like, he drew they just drew. I think it was Chiesa that had 3 defenders on him I think it was the second goal. Just everyone just goes over there and then nothing but space. So the movement up top, I think it goes unnoticed, but it definitely needs to be noted.
Look, yeah, and the main thing is, I'll say this too for sure, Keane improved this offseason.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is like, now I got to see the other strikers improve. Milik didn't look like he improved that much. Dusan, I don't know how healthy he is, so I can't really give you a proper evaluation. Because, like, for example, moments leading up into the goal, I thought he was woeful. I was kind of
he was non-existent.
Yeah, like, I thought he was terrible. And then, like, for example, good on Dusan to read and anticipate the movement where Sule was going to put the ball. Call it an own goal, call it whatever. Again, it's great placement. He puts it in. That's all you need. That's all you need to ask for. Yusuf is saying, question, is with Dusan instead of Keane, would we be able to do this press? Absolutely not. I think Keane is more mobile.
we've been saying it here early on that Keane is in current form, maybe not overall, maybe not potential, blah, blah, blah. But in this moment in time, Keane is your top choice.
Yeah, Keane offers more mobility and more physicality than Dusan does. Again, it's really hard to judge Dusan right now because of his pubalgia. If it's not even a pubalgia anymore, I don't even know what the hell he has. But
Yeah, who knows?
look, the thing is after seeing this game, I'm trying to put myself in Giuntoli's shoes, and what I'm really starting to see is Milik is obviously the third option, in my opinion. I think Milik has fallen down to 3. He looked poor this game. He looked poor against Milan. I don't see the Milik man really being anything besides, a piece off the bench to try to do something.
Yeah.
Slow.
But I think he knows that. He's up there in
yeah.
age anyways. It's his role.
He's slow. Doesn't really add too much to the buildup where it's like, for example, Keane can stretch a back line, and he did. Again, I'll show you those pictures again, but Keane's doing a lot of the sacrificing for the teamwork that you expect from a striker to do, where it's Dusan, like, going off of what I saw yesterday, I didn't really see too much of a difference from a different Dusan. Like, I saw him do the old, like, jersey, holding it up like that, like Dybala did. But, like, I said this, and this was my comments last night. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. Dybala did that and had one of the best seasons after doing that. If you're going to do something like that, you better flip and cook, dude.
But that's also what Dusan does. That's one of his celebrations. So it could be absolutely nothing.
It could be, but, Twitter and Instagram are begging to differ. So
of course they are. They're horrible people over there.
So Yusuf is chiming in saying, so it's very difficult to judge Allegri if he wants Lukaku based on the tactics of this game. Lukaku would really fit into the style. And that's so
Keane is like a Lukaku. They're very similar in what they do.
They're similar to an extent. But like the thing is again, so what I'm starting to think that Giuntoli and Allegri and co are thinking, and you guys might not like me for this, but this is me speculating of what's in their head. I think they see something in Keane, and they're willing to let Dusan go.
They need the payday.
They need the payday, and also, again, he's injured, so I'm not saying he's garbage, maybe, but I think Juve and the technical staff are starting to say, hey, look, we don't know if Dusan's going to be fully fit. We don't know how this is going to go. I don't know how he's going to recover, how he's going to move. Keane's proved it. Keane's being mobile off the ball, creating space, opportunities, and chances. So why don't we essentially get a Lukaku who can play off? We don't need Lukaku to score 20 goals a season. We need Lukaku to occupy center backs and open up space for Keane and Chiesa. Because, like, for example, guys, Keane opened up lanes for Chiesa this game. Chiesa had space to move all over the place. And I said it. Chiesa is a number 10 as a support striker. I think he'll be dangerous in that position. So let me ask you this, everyone. All of our offense, who did it go through outside of Weah? Chiesa.
Yeah.
Chiesa had a touch on the ball anytime we were in the Real box. Whether it's a pass, a switch of field, anything was running through Chiesa. Why was that possible? Because Keane was occupying 2 center backs.
So looking up as well, because we have to look, we got to think the business side of things again, right? We do need to make up some sort of money. So who would actually fetch us the most amount of money right now? And I'm just confirming, but currently, Dusan Vlahovic is valued. This is transfer market numbers, so again, take it for what it is.
That's what Serie A uses.
Yeah, I mean, it's legit. So Dusan, 70 mil. We're talking euros. Bremer, 40 mil. Moise Keane is 18. And Chiesa, I'll just look him up real quick. 40. So, of those 4 players, who would you sell? Keane is only going to get you about 20 mil. So it's not even worth selling him in a sense, because he is playing much better than 20 mil, especially when you compare out what we paid 80 mil for.
And his contract too, his wage too.
His wage. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. So it doesn't make financial sense or even really much sporting sense to move on Keane. So take him off the table. So you have Dusan, Bremer, Chiesa. Chiesa emotionally, I think, trumps the emotion of the other two players, the attachment to the club. So take that into account because there's a lot of people that are going to cry for any of these players that leave.
Yeah, but you got to look at it. So look at it technically. So, like, for example, as far as contributions go, and like looking at these 2 preseason games as well, how is the movement of the game or the movement of the ball flowing? It's flowing through Chiesa.
Through Chiesa, yes.
It's flowing through Chiesa. You can't move him. So, like, for example, Chiesa gets, by merit alone, if we take away the emotional factor, but as far as a contribution capability, Chiesa stays.
I was going to just argue the emotional side first because on the emotional aspect, he stays emotionally. But if you want to now go to the business side, of course, as you said,
I say he stays.
He stays. He stays.
Then,
doesn't matter which way you look at it.
And then
Chiesa stays.
And then we go to Bremer.
Okay. What happens if you sell Bremer for, let's say, 50 mil?
Your center back position, you're not shored up on the center back because you need an enforcer center back, and that's what.
And
Bremer
how much do you have to spend for one of those?
You're gonna have to spend upwards of 50 to 60 million.
Okay, so net zero. Okay,
you
cool.
net zero.
So who do you sell? You sell Dusan Vlahovic.
You have to, because here's the thing: people are gonna hate me, and Farhead's gonna start rolling around and punching the air. But Dusan is expendable.
Expendable, yeah.
He's expendable. He is, because the thing is like, okay, so look, our best offensive showing so far, was he on the field? No. I mean, was he on the field against Milan? No. Look at it last season. Like, I mean, yeah, we were a mess last season, but him on the field and him off the field still kind of scored the same amount. Not really any drastic difference there. So the thing is you got to look at it. If Moise Kean with a less salary is doing a better job, because they're both roughly the same age. I'm not counting Milik here. Milik means nothing in this equation.
Well, we just bought him anyways for.
I know, but
like,
again,
yeah. So he doesn't. Yeah,
he's pennies. Like, the thing is like there's 2 things, and I was speaking with Monica Laricia on Twitter about this, but there's 2 things about this. It's like Keane's roughly about the same age, if not the same age as Dusan. Makes substantially less. Way more work ethic off the ball, is able to play properly to the system. Dusan hasn't really showed that much. And also, let's be honest, guys, outside of us strong-arming Chelsea to take Lukaku, who wants him? Because PSG just signed Ramos from Benfica for 65 million plus bonuses as their striker.
Vlahovic is exactly 1 month older than Moise.
Exactly. So, looking at it from a financial standpoint, Bayern Munich is willing to throw 100 million for Harry Kane.
Yeah.
So they're working on Harry Kane.
I'm surprised he still hasn't been sold, to be honest.
PSG has essentially said no to Dusan and has gone after Goncalves Ramos, and they have signed him for 65 plus bonuses.
PSG is a train wreck right now as well.
Yes. So, again, nobody really wants him at the moment, which makes it kind of difficult for us to move him because, again, I said he's a surplus asset and you need to move him. But the issue is a lot of people aren't high on his stock. So now, and it's as Marian says, he needs to figure his crap out and get himself back on the upward trajectory. Because the thing is it's saying give him another chance to prove himself. I don't think it's us giving him another chance. He has to. I don't think it's, Dusan's like, hey, give me a shot. Let me prove it to you. It's like, nah, dude, like, you kind of need to.
No, you have to at this point. And this is an angle nobody really seems to be attacking. We either go swap deal, get rid of Vlahovic, keep Vlahovic. Or sorry, we haven't really talked about the keep Vlahovic so much. Like, just keep the status quo. Like, do we need to make any movements in our strikers? Because we have a Keane right now that's doing pretty well. Vlahovic, I mean, you're not going to get the money for him.
Unless, this is a big hypothetical. Unless Tottenham accept a 70 to 100 million bid for Harry Kane and they come after Dusan. That is the only
Yeah. And, I mean,
only way I
situations
see
could
it.
exist. So, yes, if the 70 mil shows up on the table, however it happens, okay, then he's most likely gone.
But then the problem comes in because, like, for example, with the Lukaku and Chelsea situation, you have a 29, 30-year-old striker that's done well in Serie A. But the question is if you go the Tottenham route, what do you get? Alvaro Morata? Or, like, I don't think Alvaro really does that hold-up target man play that you would want
he
Lukaku
doesn't.
to do. Because,
I mean,
like,
it's a year where you make your number one Moise Keane, and you're banking on that. It's a bit of a risk. It's a risky situation. I think, honestly, just kind of hashing this out, you just keep Dusan, give him the year. You just leave the team.
the thing is, I think the thing where it kind of, for me, I don't see a future for Dusan is because it looks like, judging off of what I saw yesterday, Allegri doesn't want a 25, 30 goal scorer. He wants a guy that can bag 16, 17, close to 20. And then he wants Weah. He wants Chiesa. He wants
Rabiot,
McKennie. He wants Rabiot. He wants
Fajoli.
He wants contributions from all of his players to get goals. Like, he's running almost like, in the NFL, they call it a spread offense. Like, for example, I'm trying to see if I can, like, if our European folk understand this, but, like, for example, the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, that quarterback that throws the ball. The Kansas City Chiefs are good because they run what they call a spread offense. All of their wide receivers, all of their running backs are like no names. Like Tom Brady used to do it at the Patriots, where because the tactics and the setup is so good, a bunch of no-name people can score in a sense. So Misak is here.
Yeah.
So
Welcome in.
it's one of those things where I really see one of those things where it's like, he says I'm awake because it's like a Saturday for me. Always off tomorrow.
Yes, Fridays or Thursdays. Yeah, Friday. They do Friday, Saturday, not Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah. Oh, I gotcha. But yeah, so looking at it from that perspective, I really see Allegri trying to go into that spread offense because, like, you look at it again, you had 6 players that could easily score a goal. And, like, Kostic being the weakest link out of all of them because you had Keane, Weah, McKennie, Locatelli, Moretti, Chiesa. Like, he had all those options pushed forward. And that's what I really think he wants to do is I think he wants to run a spread offense. Because if you run a spread offense, you don't know who's coming at you. Like, again, prime Allegri ball, 2016, 2017, Higuain, Mandzukic, Dybala, Dani Alves, Cuadrado, Miralem Pjanic, and Sami Khedira. All of those players were playing either in the midfield, the winger position, or the striker position. All of them can score. And that's, again, counterattack. That's how you make the best counterattacking football is if you have a spread offense.
I like that, honestly. I love spreading the wealth a little bit. You're always going to have your number one that racks up the most. That should be your striker in this case.
Yeah. And again, it was Higuain.
Yeah.
But Higuain got 15. It was like 15, 16 goals, and everyone else got 8, 9, or roughly around that.
Well, again, look at Joselu, who scored 15 goals for Espanyol last year in Madrid. Just like, oh, let's go spend a bunch. It's a loan, but still. I mean, 15 goals is. I mean, you got a couple other strikers. If they all score 15 goals, plus some from your midfields, Gattoni's strike, which he almost got one yesterday.
He's at that point where he's like legit. I think he's a two-way player, like a dual threat center back.
No, he is. He's amazing.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but like I'm not gonna start the Gatti for striker or center defensive midfielder, but like he has that. Like, for example, the overlapping he did with Weah against Milan. I'm like sitting here, I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, this guy's an actual goal scoring threat. Like, it's ridiculous. But and I think this, and a lot of people are trying to compare him as like another Bonucci. I think he's better than what Bonucci was at that age as far as like capabilities.
Even maturity, because Bonucci I thought was always immature. But that being said, let's not trash too much because Gatti actually said he missed Bonucci on the bench. So there was a bit of love between the two of them, right? He's looking up to him. There's a personal level to it still as well.
Yeah, and we mentioned this earlier that issue is on the left, that left center back. You need a ball playing center back on that left because, like I said when I showed the images, you don't expect Alexandro to hit those pings. Like the only if we were to do like a makeshift fix at this point, either throw in Danilo as a left center back and you throw in Gatti as a right center back and you just hope that sticks. But maybe Dean Huyson, maybe.
Hold on.
Maybe.
Did you catch this yesterday?
No.
That I'm coining the hoisin sauce.
Why? Oh, is that what Colin said, that I beat you to it? Did I say that? Said I beat you to something in the comments when I was.
Oh, I'm not sure, but I'm saying whatever. The channel, because we've coined terms like the milkman is probably our most famous to date. We got MK Ultra, but we're going with hoisin sauce.
He calls him the Kush King.
Yeah, why?
He's baked. Well, he does look like he's high all the damn time.
Is it 'cause
Or is
he's-
that Nicolucci?
Whatever. I mean, whatever. Don't judge. Look at the eyes. He says, "Yeah."
Look at that.
Gatti against Vinicius was great to watch.
I loved it.
And Danilo as well had a couple good tussles.
I loved it. He was aggressive.
Mm.
It was very nice and aggressive.
And man, what a bitch Vinicius. Some of those dives and the holding of the face, even though he got hit in the back. Man, the kid rolled a fat one. Yeah, and he's Dutch. That's what I thought. It's like, yeah, he's Dutch, right? Well, Amsterdam. I mean, Amsterdam's where do you get it? And he's originally from Amsterdam. Okay, thanks, Misak. So sure. Okay.
I'm gonna pose this question to you and then also to the chat as well, because it looks like the Juventus board of directors or whoever's dictating player in and out have decided that it looks like big Weston McChicken Nuggets McKennie is looking like he's gonna stay. So,
yes, I did hear that news today.
I'm gonna say this. This is my opinion. Get ready to roast me, folks. As a fourth or a fifth option, I'm okay with it. McKennie is a fourth or a fifth option.
Yeah. We just thought we can get 30 mil for him, which would have been pretty decent.
Because I think limited minutes, it'll give him a little bit more ability to make some consistency. So, guys, comment on the chat. What do you think about McKennie? Are you happy that he's staying? Are you pissed off that he's staying? It looks like Zakaria is about to go to West Ham for roughly about 20 million.
Bones doesn't hate it. Misak wants to
He
sell.
wants to sell as soon as possible.
ASAP. Yeah, ASAP. Right now.
ASAP.
Come on. It's a little dramatic. Come
Yeah,
on.
but Misak will sell someone for a bag of chips and a joint. I'm not going to lie, though.
And why is Jeff going on about Carvajal?
Carvajal.
But
He's Real Madrid's right back. He hates him because he's a drama queen.
okay. Context. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, there's a couple on Madrid. And as long as he doesn't play entire games, that's actually a good point. He is a bit more of a super sub.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was saying more as a rotational piece.
Yeah.
Because you don't have an older rotational piece, and like with all due respect, I don't think you can throw in, like, for example, if you run Hans and Moretti as your rotational pieces, they kind of both have the same profile, and sometimes you just need a physical guy to come in. Because, like, for example, Rabiot gets subbed off. Who's coming in for him? Who's the next physical guy that comes in for him?
Not Kessie anymore because he's out at the Saudis.
He's not coming in. So it's like one of those things where that's where my head is, where I'm thinking more so. And again, you guys, like, for example, Misak saying Hans is a regista, of course. But I'm saying, again, we don't have another physical midfielder that's aggressive. So McChicken Nuggets technically is, in a sense, the pseudo backup to Rabiot if you're looking from a physical stature. Jeff is saying, I'm not pissed that he's staying, but I do feel less than McKenzie plays like a chicken with his.
Like you feel like he's not doing that as much anymore?
I think that's what he's saying. I think McKenzie. McKennie, I think McKennie's starting to organize himself a little bit and get his feet under him. I said this a week or so ago. I think with Weah and Pulisic and Musa moving within, driving distance of him, I think that's going to help him settle a little bit more, especially with Weah being on the roster. And then again, Pulisic and Musa, Weah, Pulisic, those guys are all starting U.S. men's national team players, and they all live an hour and 30 minutes from each other. So I think that's going to help McKennie mentally. I think that's going to help him gear up and zone in. Again, I'm not saying McKennie for starter. McKennie's number one. Absolutely not. But one of those things where it's like, I think he can turn it around, especially if he's playing as a rotational piece. You can feel free to disagree with me, but again, I beg the question: who subs in for Rabiot? God forbid he gets injured.
You can almost say Locatelli and Rabiot should have the same position, but just the physicality. Locatelli can play further up, not as the regista. But then, I mean, leaves a spot open in the regista role as well. So not a perfect solution there.
I think is he talking about Hans? Hans,
Yeah, I think we're still on Hans here. Yeah.
And then
And I love this, or I'm driving, it's hard to text.
Jesus, Jeff, just
Well,
drive
if
and
you're
listen.
Drive and
listen.
Yeah, we figured it out. I mean, it's fine.
David saying it's controversial to say that I would choose to keep Hans over Ravella if I have to choose one.
Well, Ravella has already gotten injured.
He's already
so
injured now for 20 days.
That does not. I don't like that right off the bat. It's too much of that on this team. I just don't like that.
So he says put Ravella. So this is Misak's idea. If we sell McKennie, you put Ravella's Regista, you put Loca up.
Yeah.
And then
you can do that.
That makes sense. Yeah, I get it. And then Fajoli as well. Jeff says Pogba. I'm going to be honest with you folks.
What about Pogba?
I'm going to be honest with you guys. For me, until I see Ravella and Pogba play consistent minutes, I'm not really putting them in my starting X because Ravella is ridiculously injury prone, and Pogba, I think you guys know about Pogba at this point.
I don't know if this is too early, but I feel that maybe you have to get Ravella healthy, get him some solid, good minutes, let him show his skills off, keep him healthy, sell him. J Medical doesn't need it.
Ooh,
I don't know if that's too
fair.
hot or not.
No, that's fair. I mean, this is a hot one too. Bone says I think McKennie has a better pass than Rabiot. I think so. I think Rabiot's more physical and runs more.
You might be right there.
Because I've seen playmaking. I've seen McKennie playmake for the US. It's actually pretty good.
So Misak's all about the little boys here. Says in case even more danger, just promote non if you need a physical type. If you want a creative 8-10 hybrid, promote the half Italian Albanian Luis Hassa.
Hey man, you're gonna get me and Jeff excited.
Oh boy.
I have been wanting an Albanian to make the first team for Juve for so damn long. I thought I had a chance with Giacomo Veroni, but the dumbass tore his ACL. And then he got sent to New York Red Bulls.
That's right. Is that where he went? Oh man.
Yeah. He went to the Polish league, got like 35 goals.
He went to Poland first, yeah.
He went to Poland for a season, got 35 goals, and then Juve's like, all right, you're going to New York. David says J Medical. Oh wait, no. Marian says I thought Pogba already retired. Touche. We need him to play a couple of games so he can go to Saudi.
J Medical already working overtime. They probably have that song playing too. You know that one? It's like a 80s song. Working over. It's I don't know, blues. Anyways, I'll just move on from that. Just the boomer jokes.
Says that's him driving. It's probably him about to cut someone off.
Stop it.
Text and drive.
Yeah.
Frankie says, throw Gatti as a playmaker. He can do it all. Frankie, with the new FIFA EA FC update patch for Gatti, the center midfielder patch, team of the week, FIFA Ultimate Team card.
They really should have thought, now that we actually have to say this name regularly, they really should have chosen something that rolls off the tongue a bit better than EAFC.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just say FC 24.
Misak saying, Hassa was player of the tournament for Italy. Unfortunately, he wasn't playing for Albania. Damn. Jeff saying, and then Misaki saying again, yeah, guys, look up Luis Hassa if you want to. He is, I believe, going from I don't know if he's going up to the next gen this season, but he is on the Primavera. He is under the under-19s, but Luis Hassa, half Albanian, half Italian. He's a very good player. Absolutely dominated that tournament. Jeff is saying, I'm going to keep saying Broya. And then he says, let's steal Asliani from Inter as well. And then he says he's home now. And then Misak says he's next gen and will be a starter for next gen. Gosh, man, Asliani is actually going to be a pretty damn good regista too. That's what kind of sucks that Inter got him. But it is what it is. But Dave has our friend here, Luis Hassa.
Yeah, it's got the Albania there. Midfielder, attacking midfield more so. Juventus next gen. Joined last year, actually, last July. There you go.
And he's already 700K. He's almost $1 million, and this kid's not even touched the next gen. So I think his value is going to
2004,
go.
19, yeah.
Yeah, I think his value is going to go up quite high.
Yeah. Watch out for Luis Hassa. We had so
Hassa.
many debuts last season. I suspect there's going to be a few more this season as well.
So I'm going to ask you guys this. Last season we had 3 promotions: Meretti, Sule, and Illing.
Fajoli.
And well, Fajoli wasn't next gen; he was loaned out to.
All right.
Malaysia.
Okay.
I'm saying like directly, just
yeah,
bumped up.
direct promotions.
So-
okay, sorry.
You can count him as 4, whatever. That's fine.
3.5.
3.5. I'm gonna ask you guys in the chat: who are the 3 players from the next gen this season that'll get promoted to the first team?
Yildiz, Hoyson, Nicolucci.
Is Baranachea, does he have an actual first team contract, Misak? Because I think he only featured for a game or 2.
He's kind of borderline, isn't he?
Like he's borderline, right?
So he says yes.
He has a first
Okay.
time. Yeah, first team contract. That's interesting. So
yeah,
then-
I think they did, if I recall.
Okay, so that's 4.5 technically.
Yeah,
See,
yeah. he
I
says
always
we're promoting.
thought he was just for a couple of games. Okay, cool. So we have 4. So how many this season, and who do you think they are?
I think we got to bring up the list of Juventus next gen because I know I'm missing people.
Yeah, you should share your screen so we can see the list.
Yeah, I'm gonna search it up first before you. How many times have I just stumbled through the internet live? Just like, give me a sec.
Fine, just do better.
I got it from the official Juventus website. Okay, let's go through this. Let's see. There's Barbieri again. We've seen a bit of
I
him.
think he's getting sent out on loan. No,
Yeah, I think so. Did that one go through?
I don't know. I would ask Misaka on that one. Misaka would
Yeah,
know
I can't think off the top of my
Barbieri-
head. I don't have that handy. But he's still listed here. Doesn't mean this is updated. So here's Hoyson.
Yeah, so Misak says
Sauce.
he's at Pisa. So yep, we're
He's
right
up.
about that.
Okay, thank you.
So
Okay.
David says Hoyson, Yildiz, Nicolucci, and Baranachea will be loaned. Or he said those, but he said Baranachea will be loaned or sold.
Campagna, Sekulov. I don't think they're gonna make the jump. Less this year, but we did take so many last year. It's kind of it makes sense that
They don't even have
this year.
they don't even have Yildiz on here. It's the old list.
Yeah, I don't think this is up to date.
So I think honestly though, I believe it's Hoyson, Yildiz, and Hans.
Why are we saying it like this all of a sudden?
There's a thing. Hello, my name is Hans. It's a
Is
joke.
that the
Inside
Martian?
joke.
Sounds
think
like the
so.
Martian from
Yeah.
Flintstones.
Dave knows. Other Dave.
Other Dave. Okay.
Sure. The German Dave, he knows.
Okay. There's Yildiz. Oh, he's already worth $1 million.
Yeah, because he's a beast.
Yeah, this looks like the more complete list here on Transfer Market. Correa, Felix Correa is
Sock says Hans is a loanee. I believe he was, but I thought he's technically classified. But hey, I don't really know too much about the behind the scenes stuff. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
More.
We'll have
more
to
of the
watch more
tactics
next
guy.
gen. They didn't show the next gen there on JTV near enough last year. So unfortunately, I don't know how you got to watch it, but I didn't get to catch too many
Yeah,
games.
you will because Misak sails the high seas.
Yeah, I guess maybe. I did focus a lot more on the women's team this year, and what a disappointment! Both Canada and Italy couldn't make it into the final 16. Like what a disappointment!
You know what was more of a disappointment? How shitty the United States women's national team looks.
I didn't follow them, but I heard Alex Morgan was like, "Yeah, we made it to the
Holy-
final 16, but we shouldn't be happy with how we got there."
They shouldn't have even been to the final 16. If Portugal could hit the bleeping goal instead of post, I would have been happy because Megan Rapinoe came in and started grittying before the game even started. I was like, are you nuts? Like, I told you, I made this theory back then. I said, once Europe actually caught up with their women's league and their women's setup, the United States will not win a World Cup ever again. That was my take. I said that in 2019. The second one with Germany, with what is it? With Germany, with England, with Spain, with France, with Italy. Once everyone started launching their women's national team or their women's leagues, I said, look, the prestige, the history, U.S. isn't like, in my opinion, the United States women's national team was first to the party.
They're the Uruguay of the men's World Cup. In
Pretty
100
much.
years, they'll be like, yeah, remember Uruguay won one?
Pretty much. Because, like, in my opinion, I really do think the rest of the world's catching up because the United States look like absolute dog shit. Like, they did.
I'm just upset with the Canadians because they won the Olympics. And I know that's a couple years back now, but
Yeah, the way that you guys, the Canadian women's offense was weird. Like, I forgot Jordan Hoytema was still a player.
oh, really? Yeah, she's still doing it, I guess.
Well, I mean, she has to do something after breaking Mbappe's heart, or Alphonse Davis's heart for Mbappe.
Did that happen? See, I don't follow any of that bullshit.
All I know is she broke up with Alphonse Davis and then went to PSG, and then everyone's saying,
how do you fuck up both his names? Alfonso Davies.
Here's the thing. So people call him Alfonsi, and I guess it is Alfonso. Okay, just make sure. You know how many times I hear different pronunciations? That's why my pronunciation sucks, because there's so many damn pronunciations of this thing. It's like, it doesn't help that I speak like 3 languages, so half the time I'm talking, my stupid native tongues switch around.
Got like Fonzie over here on the left wing.
Like for some reason, I'll be speaking in Albanian and I'll speak with a Spanish accent that makes no flipping sense, and I'll just slur my things and then
search your shit out.
I can't. I'm having like as Dave's having Korea flashbacks. I'm just having like linguistic flashbacks.
You need to do some Duolingo.
Touche.
I gotta brush up. I'm going to Italy in a couple weeks, and I haven't been practicing at all.
Unbelievable, unacceptable, Dave.
I know. I'm still trying to do this audio engineering course. My God, I have never. The last time I've almost not passed a course was it grade 10 physics? No, it was math and physics. In grade 11, I almost failed both of them because I don't know. I stopped being able to math at that level, I guess. Yeah. I can't math at the grade 11 level anymore.
So Marian is asking me what languages I speak. So Albanian is my first language. Yo full ship. My second language is English. I speak English. And then my third language is Yo hablo español. So I speak Albanian, English, and Spanish. And most of the times when I'm playing footy, you hear me yell, swear, and curse in Spanish. I think it was like JC was like, I hear you swearing in Spanish in those dash cam videos. And I'm like, yeah.
Awesome. I'm mostly just English. I try Italian sometimes. I know a bit of French just because those bastards live across the river.
This is funny. So Bones is saying, as a bilingual, I agree. Thank you. That's all I needed. Jeff says, fun fact, the U.S. was in 3rd place in the first ever World Cup, and that's nothing but birds chirping. That's funny. David also saying, not to make Frankie happy, but man, I would have loved Santiago Jimenez on Juve. Guys, you know what? This is something I had to flex on Frankie. So you guys remember when we did our podcast with Munchies Men and Frankie was asking about Tecatito?
Yeah.
I ran into Tecatito when he was here in Detroit.
That's right.
He was at a bar. He was at a cafe inside a casino. I had dinner with Tecatito.
Yeah, you never.
My buddy has pictures of him. Okay, so I'll tell you. You know what? Because this is where we're getting to the hour. I wish I could speak some Italian, Oscar. I wish.
You might be talking to me. Make an embarrassment of myself.
Oh, I'll end it with this fun story here. So, so my friend and I are coming home, or we're getting to our car. So I parked in a casino, safe spot, nice spot there. So we have to cut through the casino. So we're going in, we're scanning our IDs to make sure that, we're obviously 21, and we're walking, and I hear like a really weird, like rough English and some Spanish, like Spain Spanish, not like Mexican Spanish. And then I turn around, and my buddy turns around, and my buddy's Mexican. We turn around, and I was like, what the hell? That just sounds weird. Turn around, it's Ivan Rakitic, Papu Gomez, Tecatito, and like 2 Sevilla youth defenders. Like, I don't want to say youth defenders, but defenders, all behind us trying to get into the casino.
Oh, nice.
And like, we had one of those things where I'm like, I was a little bit shocked because I'm sitting here, I'm like, bro, there's all these players here and there's no freaking security whatsoever. These guys are just coming in. And mind you, this is like 10:30 at night, like late at night, Sunday evening. So my friend is from Monterrey. Tecatito is from Monterrey, like a legend for Monterrey. So he's starstruck. I'm kind of like in the same mood where I'm just kind of looking over. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, hey, what's up, guys? Like, I'm just kind of there. And he's like, Tecatito, mi amo. ¿Qué tal, Tecatito? And then it's like, I'm like sitting there. I'm like, oh, that's Rakitic. And then like Papu Gomez probably was my favorite one out of the entire situation. The dude has his hands in his pocket. His hood is over his head like this.
You still have the tags on your shirt.
I know. He's like this. He's got his hands in his pocket and his hood like this, and he's just kind of looking around like this. Like Alejandro Gomez is like, bro, I don't want to get fined or thrown in jail. Just leave me alone. I don't want to get recognized whatsoever. Like,
I'm a Hispanic person in the U.S. Please don't arrest me.
So yeah, it was funny because it was like one of those things where like Papu Gomez was like, bro, I'm just here so I don't get fined. Just leave me alone. I'm just trying to play some slots, maybe get some blackjack going and that. Rakitic was super cool because like Rakitic scored this goal with the outside of his foot from like the corner of the box. So like I was talking to Rakitic, so we're at the cafe and like as we're walking through, we're going to the same destination. So I was chatting with Rakitic and like talking to him about like, has he trolled Modric before or who Brozovic, like how to like is Mandzukic really that intense? Or I asked him this. I was like, I gotta ask you about Mario. And he's like, what? I was like, how is Mario? Like outside of it, he's like, to be honest with you, he's a ball. Like he's probably an aggressive dude, like an intense, always serious. Like he's like Mario never really smiles unless he's like fucking around with somebody. So like you guys remember the no good Mario videos that Juve used to post back in the day where Mario's like this, where it's like no good, no good. Like he's like, yeah, Mario does that. He's like Mario helped a lot of the younger players, and I believe he's a coach now. But like Rakitic was telling, like Mario Mandzukic was like a big mentor and like a really big important piece to that Croatian team. But again, like my friend was like freaking out with Tecatito the entire time. It was hilarious because like those two are just talking about Monterrey and all that other stuff, and I'm just kind of like listening in, and I'm just kind of like, yeah, huh? And then he's like, hey, Tecatito, and I'm kind of like in my head, I'm like, because my dad gave me shit for this. He's like, why didn't you ask them for pictures? I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. Like,
Yeah, I don't like doing that either.
I'm like sitting there. I'm like, that's obnoxious. Like Tecatito asked my friend. He's like, hey, we can take a picture if you want. Because I'm like, I'm not gonna sit there as I'm having legitimately like I'm having a drink with one of these guys, and I'm like, hey, and not alcohol, but like actual just like a beverage with these guys. But
we all know you don't drink, Dash. It's fine. Just...
well, that and it's also preseason. Those guys don't drink alcohol because they're actually in season. But
yeah.
Like, yeah, we're just sitting there talking and it was hilarious. And like, we're just sitting there having a conversation. And then I'm like sitting here. And the funny thing is it never would have happened if I told my friends that we're not going to Buffalo Wild Wings. We're going to the restaurant inside the casino. Cause they were debating me for like 10 to 15 minutes after kickoff.
Buffalo Wild Wing is the
worst place ever. They're like,
so trash.
Let's get some wings. Let's go here. I'm like, no, we're not going there.
So
I'm like,
trash.
Oh, come on. I'm like, it is garbage. But, and I was like, I convinced them, hey, let's go to the name of the restaurant. I was like, hey, let's go to Tap. Let's sit down, grab something there. And, hey, we went to Tap. Boom. You met the Sevilla players. And I'm not going to lie. I did touch the Europa League trophy. Shit's heavy as shit.
Nice.
So I did get to touch that. And I kind of trolled a little bit of the Sevilla folks by saying, well, if Chiesa didn't slip, this would have probably been ours. So, but
they beat us.
Yeah. But, the funny thing is I got trolled. They're like, hey, look at this, everybody. It's a Juventino finally touching a European trophy. And I'm like, haha, go fuck yourselves. But, it was interesting because, there was a lot of Juventinos at the game. They were wearing their actual jerseys. And then like, there was a bunch of like plastic Juventus fans that came in with the Ronaldo jersey. And I was just
always, man.
At that point, I just kind of like want to tell those people to respectfully remove said jersey because, these
are the same people that go to Taylor Swift concerts though, right? Like it's just the sheeple of the world.
That is. Bones is saying, now imagine if it was Gotti. Gotti probably would have decked me. That's how intense Gotti is. I'm
I
sure
think
he
he's
would have.
probably saying that
To
because
Frankie.
Frankie's so jealous. And
Oh my
but it was
gosh!
Gatti
If I actually were able to sit down and meet Gotti, I am asking him to film and record the whole thing just so I could just troll Frankie with it.
just put him on live chat.
I didn't want to troll him for Tecatito, but hell, I could probably pull it. It's on my friend's Instagram. I think he posted it, but like I didn't want to troll him with Tecatito because I was like, I don't want to rub it in his face, but nope, he doesn't have it. But
Respect.
he didn't
He
post it.
shouldn't. He shouldn't. Good
He did.
good for him. Don't be a Kardashian.
Don't be a Kardashian.
Buffalo Wild Wings, 5-star redneck heaven. Yeah, man, that place is. It sucks. It just sucks. The food's not good.
Bones is saying Frankie would show up at your house if you touch your hand, if you touch Gotti.
Hold on, where are you gonna touch yourself with this hand?
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Oh man, the viewership's dropping off. It's that time where I just tell the
Yeah.
dick jokes because everyone's just gonna like, oh, this guy again. He has such a filthy mouth. You shouldn't be listening to him.
Get a load of this guy.
Give you a load of this guy.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think we hit everything. We hit the
That
hour
was
mark.
it.
I think we're Gucci.
We
So
are
I think
good
it's
to
time.
go to play the outro. Dash, hit it out.
We're new winning music, by the way, guys. For every game we win, we play this.
My bad. All right, I put the splash screen. This is embarrassing.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in and listening to that. Thanks, guys. But anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in for our first technically official pregame, postgame show that we did. Yeah, woohoo! Season 23, 24 in the house. Dave, thanks for tuning in, buddy, or showing up because, I know your voice is kind of trash. So.
You know I'll be here. But thank you, everyone, for being here as well with us to join the postgame show. Big win, big preseason. We'll catch you Saturday night.
And remember to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll catch you Saturday.